Hey everyone, this is James Peterson here. This video is part 2 of developing good habits for working in teams. This video focuses on running team meetings, which includes planning, doing the work, and checking the work. We'll also take a look at wrapping up the team project when the project is complete. Here are the habits for working in teams. In part 1 of this video, I suggested that the first 5 minutes of each team meeting should be spent doing 4 things: set up the room, build relationships, discuss the objective, and discuss expectations. Now in part 2 of this video, our focus is here, doing the work and team wrap-up. So let's start. Doing the work. Plan, do, check, act. If you studied business or project management, you'll recognize this model as the improvement cycle, or the PDCA model. This model is used to make continuous improvements in a process, such as improving a manufacturing process. However, the improvement cycle is also a useful way to think about team meetings. So let's go through each part. On any team project, the first step is to plan. Plan what you are going to do. The next step is to do. Do exactly what you planned. After that, you need to check the quality of what you did. And then you need to act, taking countermeasures, fixing any quality problems that need to be fixed. And this model continues. It's a cycle. Plan what you do what you planned, check what you did, and fix it. This model is useful to identify problems teams make. Some teams start doing work without having a clear plan. More discussion was needed in the planning stage. Or perhaps the team had a clear plan, but some team members didn't do what was planned. This could be because of a disagreement on the team, miscommunication, or simple non-compliance. Some teams don't check the quality of work. For other teams, quality is checked, but the team doesn't act, and the problems aren't fixed. So let's take a look at the planning stage. Once you understand the objective of the project, you can start planning. Planning starts with generating and organizing ideas. To find the best ideas, you need to hear from everyone, and one method of generating ideas is brainstorming. Here, the team starts with a specific question, and team members shout out ideas while one person writes all the ideas down. Don't edit ideas at this stage. The key point is to get all the ideas out there. Make all ideas explicit and visible to everyone. Now, brainstorming is also one of the most misused techniques. The most important part of brainstorming is what you do after. As a team, you need to discuss all of the ideas. Cluster ideas by topic, making decisions. As part of this, you'll also need to prioritize some ideas and eliminate ideas that prove less relevant. The key point is brainstorming should lead you to your next steps. The next steps should be clear. Now, one of the problems with brainstorming is that 1 or 2 people might dominate the discussion. So another good technique is this, the nominal group technique. Here, each team member sits quietly for 5 to 10 minutes, writing down ideas on sticky notes. The notes are then posted on the wall. The advantage of this technique is everyone's ideas make it on the wall. We hear every voice. But again, this method is often misused. The most important part is the discussion after. You need to prioritize ideas, organize ideas, cluster ideas by topics. Brainstorming and the nominal group technique should lead to a clear plan about next steps. So now you're discussing ideas. I think it's important to note the difference between debate and discussion. A debate has 2 opposing sides. A discussion doesn't have opposing sides. In a debate, there's an attempt to persuade others that your position is correct. In a discussion, there's an attempt to share knowledge, experiences, and opinions. In a debate, the objective is to win. In a discussion, the objective is to reach the best solution. In a debate, we listen to find out where the other side is mistaken. In a discussion, we listen to find out what other people know. In a debate, you can use debating strategies, talk over people, logical fallacies, flexing your power. However, in a discussion, there's no point in using debating strategies. What's the benefit of winning? Finally, a debate has a conclusion. Somebody wins and the debate ends. A discussion doesn't have a conclusion. Now, this was an extremely simple overview and deserves much more discussion than we have time for here. Debating's not all bad. However, for our purposes, collaborative teamwork, trying to learn what other people know, trying to find the best solution. Discussion is more effective than debate. So you've discussed the ideas and your team has achieved a kind of mutual understanding. Now you need to make decisions about what actions you'll take. What is the difference between these decision-making methods? Compromise, vote, use your individual authority to make a decision for the team, reach consensus? Compromise. If you're compromising, everyone is giving up something. They may be giving up something important. In relationships, when there's trust that decisions will balance out over time, compromise can be very effective. However, for making important team decisions, compromise is probably not the best method. Voting. Voting is a useful method for making fast decisions, but it's probably not the best method for making wise decisions. Be wary of calls for a vote 5 minutes before the end of a meeting. These votes can help you end the meeting on time, giving the appearance that a decision was made, but there's probably very little buy-in to the decision. The biggest problem with voting is that everyone who loses will feel little motivation to implement the decision. Use your individual authority to make a decision for the team. If you have authority, this certainly is an option. Often decisions have to be made, and they have to be made by a certain time. Ideally, the decision would be informed by listening to the concerns of the team. Using a directive style without listening to the team can be demotivating, and the team may not implement the ideal fully. A more serious issue, though, is when someone who doesn't have authority tries to make a decision for the team. This can lead to conflict. Finally, reach consensus. To truly reach consensus, you have to have mutual understanding with your team. This means you have to listen to your team members and discuss the issues that they see as important. Once everyone has this understanding, a decision can be made considering all of the information. Consensus decision-making often leads to very wise decisions, and once the decision is made, the decisions can be implemented very easily. There's good buy-in. Everyone already agrees. The problem is, it can take a very long time to get consensus. Collaborative teams should aim for consensus decision-making to the greatest extent possible. Simply the act of trying to reach consensus will lead to better decisions. The team members will all be better informed about the issues, and you will have more buy-in. Of course, decisions will have to be made in a timely manner, and sometimes this might mean directing, voting, or even compromising. So once you've made a decision about what you're going to do, you need to delegate responsibilities and create a schedule. In this meeting here, an important thing to ask is, who's going to do what by when? Because after this meeting, each team member is going to break off on their own and work independently. And you need a deadline. And the deadline is probably this next meeting here, where you're going to check your work. Hopefully, you're beginning to see what I mean by plan, do, check, and act. Plan what you're going to do what you planned, and check what you did. So let's talk about do. Each team member is working independently. The key is to do what you planned. However, several problems often happen here. First, some team members overpromise and underdeliver. Second, miss deadlines. Third, each team member has a different understanding about the plan. Language is ambiguous. We all understand different things. Fourth is new information. Often, while you're working on a project, things don't go as planned, and you have to adapt. Ironically, with this video project, the video you're watching right now, I think I grappled with all of these problems, all of my own doing. Problems happen. However, on some teams there may be more serious compliance issues. It's useful to pull out the team charter in that case, look at the rules that your team agreed to. The team charter should also speak to how those rules would be enforced. You may need to enact those rules. So let's turn to the last two parts of the PDCA model, check and act. So first, you need to check the quality of work. And second, you need to take actions to improve the work, to fix the problems. Here's the problem. Most people are emotionally attached to their work. They worked hard. It may be their best effort. On the other hand, most work is not perfect. It can be improved. However, improving work takes time. And does it really need to be improved? Team members may disagree. There's a lot of potential for conflict at this stage, and you need good conflict management skills. At this point, I'll just say, Remember that another person's work is important to them. Try to be respectful of that work. At the same time, you can't ignore problems. Aim to be a collaborative leader, warm with people, tough with problems. So the project is complete. Your team has completed and submitted everything, and you've delivered the final presentation. So next is team wrap-up. First, I would say celebrate. Your team likely had struggles. Take a moment to relax and celebrate your accomplishments. While you're celebrating, have an informal chat with the team. Reflect on what went well and what you would do differently. This informal discussion after the project is often really good for professional development. Also, this team is now an important part of your network. Stay connected. One thing to do after this project is document storage. Make sure that you can easily find all of the documents for this project. You may be able to reuse information, perhaps if you have to do a similar project in the future. Some companies may ask you to write a team wrap-up report, summarizing the project, the results, what went well, and what could have been done differently. Some companies may have a team evaluation form, a kind of 360-degree feedback. With these forms, be truthful, but always be respectful. So to conclude, many of the team projects we work on in our business life are incredibly important. The outcome of the projects matter. Collaborative teamwork is important because collaborative teamwork can get the best results. When you're working on a team project, stay focused on the objective, but also create an environment of mutual respect, of civility, where team members can speak freely and everyone's contributions are valued. In this video, we took a look at several ideas for creating this collaborative team environment. Setting up the room, building relationships, discussing the objective, discussing expectations, planning, doing, checking, and fixing the work, and team wrap-up. The ideas in this video are meant as a starting point, a kind of checklist. Understand why these ideas are important, but then develop your own style, your own habits. After each team project, reflect on your own teamwork skills and continuously work to improve.